So, Dr. Brent, how could pro-choicers argue that abortion is safer than childbirth? Help us make sense of this ridiculous claim.
That answer spans over several decades. When they were in the lead up to Roe versus Wade, when Roe was going to be argued before the Supreme Court and then decided in 1973, a group of pro-abortion doctors and other activists, mostly in New York, created this narrative that said that thousands of women were dying every year from illegal abortions, that the so-called back alley abortion was killing women right and left every day all over the country, right, and that thousands of women were dying as a result. They wanted to create sympathy, so they needed a victim group. And in this case, they created a false victim group. Dr. Bernard Nathanson, who was one of the people involved in creating that narrative, who himself admitted that he probably did more than 70,000 abortions in the 1980s when ultrasound became widely available and he could actually see what he was doing. He stopped doing abortions, became a devout Catholic, and spent the rest of his life trying to atone for what he had done. And in his book, a book that he published, he admitted that statistic was a complete work of fiction, that they all knew that it was not true. What do we know was happening? Well, in 1972, the year before Roe versus Wade was decided, there were already 17 states where abortion was legal. The remainder, it was illegal. In 1972, according to the CDC, the number of deaths from illegal abortion in all 50 states was only 39 in all 50 states. But interestingly, so much for thousands. But here's the other point, that in the 17 states where abortion was legal in the year before Roe versus Wade, there were 24 women that died from legal abortion before Roe. So if you look at 17 women in 24 states versus 39 women in 50 states, and look at that as a death per state type statistic, there were twice as many women dying in the states where abortion was legal from legal abortion as there were from illegal abortion all over the country.
Right. Wait, so are you telling us that the left weaves myths in order to argue that abortion should remain accessible and legal? No.
Well, when you can't win with the truth, you have to tell lies and attack your opponent, and that's the sum total of their argument in every case.
So what data does the pro-abortion movement, the abortion industry, even point to make this argument? On what do they build this case that abortion is actually safer than childbirth, or that childbirth is more dangerous than abortion?
Well, first you have to understand a little bit of statistics. There is an accurately tracked statistic in the United States called the maternal mortality rate. Okay. Maternal mortality is defined as any woman who dies from the time her pregnancy test is positive until 6 weeks after the pregnancy is over, whether that's a delivery or a miscarriage or anything else. It is death from any cause. So all causes of death for a woman who is pregnant or has recently been pregnant are tracked. All 50 states report this information to the CDC, and the CDC
they're required to?
They're required to, and they do. But there is no national requirement that requires all states by law to report abortion numbers. There are 4 states that report no abortion statistics whatsoever, and one of those is California. They report nothing to the CDC. So the numbers of deaths cannot be considered to be accurate because 4 states report nothing, not even mortalities. And then when you look at the rest of the states, only 27 or 28 report any kind of complication at all.